Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binaries. My name is Barbara, and this morning I decided to shoot a quick video to kind of highlight something that I hope comes to Jurassic World Evolution 3 that, as far as I'm aware, nobody's really talking about. You see, with the themes of Jurassic World Dominion and the upcoming rebirth being dinosaurs are on the mainland and all around the world, um, you know, it doesn't feel very global, this game. We have a single map in Canada, which is over on the east side. Did they move it? I think they moved it because originally it was like squarely in Quebec. Now it's somewhere in Ontario, I think. Kooky. Anyhow, uh, yeah. Sorry, sidetracked. But again, that one location represents all of Canada, which is a little bit silly because when we get to Northwest USA, this is almost exactly in British Columbia. Almost exactly. Like, if this is like Northwest USA, it is right on the border. Uh, and then we get to our European locations, which these are pretty slacking too. We have Germany, we have the United Kingdom, and that's it? No. Oh, right. We also have Malta and Italy, but no Spain, no Norway, no Russia, no Ukraine, no Ireland. I mean, there's Europe as a peninsula is such a culturally diverse location. You could put half of these maps in Europe and the vibes could be completely different depending on where they are. And of course, we have not one, not two, but half of the maps that are available to us, not counting the square levels, are American, are in the United States. Kind of makes sense because Jurassic is an American franchise, but still, let's break it down. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Nine of the 19 maps in this game. Just over, just like literally like decimal points away from being half of the entire map takes place in one country. And that feels silly because, on the one hand, yeah, this is an American franchise. Of course, they're going to put a heavy emphasis on the USA. But again, they have all of these disparate locations. You have multiple desert maps. You have alpine maps. I mean, and some of these places are so close to each other, I feel like you could just have moved them, and it would have made more sense. Uh, like, most of these locations are also on the West Coast specifically. There's not a lot of love for the East Coast. Like, we have Jurassic Park San Diego. How come we don't have Jurassic Park New York? You know? And if we want to look even further into lore, you'll notice that none of these, none of these locations are in Africa, Australia, South America, Central America, unless you count Costa Rica, so actually South America, you get a pass, uh, or Asia. You know, Asia. The place that has two-thirds of the human population on Earth? Like, come on, guys, this is not rocket appliances. And I get it. I know that they were kind of under a limited amount of time, and Frontier does really good work. And I'm sorry if I come off as pushy, for lack of a better term, because like that's what I'm being pushy. But like, how is it that in 19 maps you don't have a single one in Asia? You don't have a single one in South America. You don't have a single one in Africa. You know, one of the most culturally, environmentally diverse continents on the planet. Granted, Chaos Theory Season 2 is giving Africa tons of love, so hopefully that means Africa gets some representation in in Jurassic World Evolution 3. But these locations, these locations, I feel like they were just picked because, oh, this is where most of our audience is. Haha. Like, and even for the maps that aren't in North America, which is a good chunk of them, right? Because you could say, well, three maps belong to Costa Rica. That's because of lore in the movies with the islands between Isla Nublar and Isla Sorna. Like this is, of course, Costa Rica and Central America are going to get love because that is where Jurassic was born. Effectively, that is where Jurassic Park got started in the canon. Is in the country of Costa fucking Rica. So of course they're going to lavish it with a lot of love. But again, like, really? Really? You have all over the world to choose. And yet, Northwest, like, here's a perfect example. Northwest USA, yeah, Northwest USA, Washington State. Did you see the site location move at all? No? I sure as fuck didn't. Like, guys. Okay, so, a poaching camp. A dinosaur poaching camp. Like this, Northwest USA. Fine. But for this campaign, this is supposed to be a poaching camp in a lush, rich, mountainous area. If the dinosaurs are found around the world, because they've been shipped around the world, remember, why aren't we in Russia or the Caucasus in Europe, or I can't remember the name of the mountains right now, but there is a mountain range in Russia. Why are we not at the foothills of, say, the Himalayas? That's another one. Hell, if you wanted a sort of taiga temperate climate like this, Norway, Finland, Sweden, the rest of Scandinavia was right there. Pennsylvania, this is unique, I'll take that. Oregon is where it gets a little dicey because at least it moved a little this time. But again, the Oregon and California maps are so close together that you could almost space them out a little more, and it would have made a little more sense. But let's take a look at these challenge locations, right? These are the original maps that they made, not based off of chaos theory, not based off of their own, not based off of any of their campaign ideas, including the Dominion-based ones. Okay, so these guys are also original. So 10 maps, okay? You get 10 maps to work with between all of these campaigns. Arizona, I think, is fine because it serves as an excellent tutorial level. But then, did we have to stay in America for this whole time? I mean, again, it's the American Department of Fish and Wildlife, but I feel like this lessens the globalness of everything. Like, yes, you're capturing dinosaurs from around the world, but if your sites are not around the world, if you're not physically going places around the world, then it feels insular. So, again, of the original maps that they did, half, or, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there we go. So, of the original campaign locations and challenge mode sites, that's 10 places. 8 of them are in North America. 8 of them. The only place that, at this point, surprises me and makes it feel truly global is Germany. Yeah, just Germany. If you're wondering why not the United Kingdom, well, Frontier's a United Kingdom-based location. Frankly, but let me make this point clear. If you're from somewhere, don't be afraid to put that somewhere in your game. Because if you like where you live, you should show it off. Which is why while I said the only place that felt truly original was Germany, or at the very least unique, I mean, the United Kingdom just shows where these people are from. So that's fine. That's fine. Do that. If a if a development team based out of Brisbane, let's say, were to make Jurassic World Evolution 2, I would fully expect them to put Australian maps in the game. You know what I mean? Just like how I would expect a British developer to put a British location, or I guess an English developer to put an English location in their game. But then they do Germany, which is next door, and then everywhere else is in America? Especially the desert map. Okay. Especially this particular desert map did not need to be in the United States. Deserts are one of the largest, most diverse environments on planet Earth. Last I heard, about 1/5 of the entire planet is a desert. And I don't know about you, but I can see a pretty big swathe of desert that they could have used instead of putting us back in the southwest of the U.S. Here, let me even double check something. So that's where it is. Okay, so there is enough distance there where it is technically a different location, because this is like in Baja California. This is in Baja California, whereas down there is on Arizona. Still, this could just have easily been in. Trying to remember, is Niger in? No, I think Niger is in the Sahara. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but like for sure, like Egypt, Morocco, these places could have easily been desert maps to be, especially Morocco, because one of the most famous dinosaurs ever, especially in recent memory, was found in Morocco, Spinosaurus. So, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, I hope that for Jurassic World Evolution 3, when it comes to building maps, when it comes to putting them in a location, please don't forget the rest of the world this time. There's such a wide swathe of diverse environments that you could do. I mean, for shit's sake, Prehistoric Kingdom, an indie title that is selling for, if you count all the prices for all the DLC, like a third of the price of Jurassic World Evolution 2, has much more diverse and much more interesting map locations because they spread them out. They have one map per biome, but they spread it out around the world. They have a grassland map in England, because I believe because I'm pretty sure the developers of Prehistoric Kingdom are also English, like Frontier is. They have a map in Spain, which is why I brought that up earlier. Jordan, a country in the Middle East, has a map. Tanzania, near Ngorongoro Crater, has a map. And in the last map giving update, we had a Canada map, a map in Canada proper, in Alberta, Canada specifically, a underrepresented part of Canadian culture, despite how often we get used as a filming location. I mean, The Last of Us was filmed in my hometown, and yet, very rarely does Canada get any exposure beyond Ontario. Maybe British Columbia, you know? Because that's where Hollywood North is. And in an upcoming update, they're going to have a map in the U.S. It's going to be a coastal Pacific Northwest based map, but it's still different. This is the first map that is going to be on the same continent. I don't really count Europe as a continent; it's more of a peninsula. But the thing is that America is that this kind of falls into, sorry, I'm kind of stuck on my own points here because no script. Uh, the thing about the Americas is they are huge. North America is a massive continent. The United States is a massive location. I'm not if it was if it was a fact that locations were proportionate to size, then yeah, I could see America getting a decent amount. But remember, Africa is so much bigger than the U.S. It's almost hilarious how much bigger Africa is, or South America. Like, could you imagine? Could you imagine having a challenge map in Jurassic World Evolution 3 where you had to build a park without deforesting without deforesting the park at all because you're trying to conserve parts of the Amazon River? Or Australia having an economic crisis and you build a park in the middle of the outback? Or, again, multiple different locations you could choose. Expand the horizons, make them feel unique. That's what Prehistoric Kingdom does, that I hope Jurassic World Evolution 3 does as well, because it's a Jurassic World out there. It isn't Jurassic America. I'm being a little facetious with that last one, but point still stands. Hopefully this random ass rant video finds you well. Don't forget to be awesome, my friends, and you know what? It's too early for this shit. I'm just gonna upload this and try and relax.